So let's go and practice using CloudFront, but first we have to create an S3 bucket to hold our files for our distribution. So let's create a bucket, and I'll call this one demo CloudFront Stefan v4, and I will scroll down, leave everything as the default, and click on Create Bucket. Okay, so my bucket is now created, and I'm going to upload some files in it. So let me add files, and I will choose my 3 files, beach, coffee, and index.html. So let's upload them. And now they've been uploaded. So if I go in my bucket, we can see all of them. And as a reminder, if I go on index.html, I have 2 ways of opening it. The first one is to use the object URL, but if I try it, I get an access denied because my object is not public. And if I go and click on open here, this generates a pre-signed, so let's allow pop-ups. This generates a pre-signed URL for my S3 object, which allows me to access the object. So I see I love coffee and hello world, but I still don't see the image because the image itself is not public. So let's see how we can instead use CloudFront to make these files accessible without making them public. So let's open up the CloudFront console. And as you can see on the top right corner, it is a global service because, well, CloudFront is a global distribution. So there's no region selection. We next have to choose an origin domain. So as you can see, I get my Amazon S3 buckets or my Elastic Load Balancer or whatever. So if I choose my bucket, I could choose my demo CloudFront bucket, clicking on here. But here you can enter really any domain name you want, including custom HTTP origins. This is fine. So then the origin access, how do you access the identity? Well, because this is Amazon S3, we have multiple ways. We have public, which is that the bucket itself must be public, but this is not the case for us. Then we have origin access control, which is OAC. That's the recommended way. We'll be using it. And here it was OAI. It was the previous way of doing it. But now we're going to use the new way called OAC, origin access control. So we need to create an origin access control. So to do so, let's click on create control setting. And it just gives us a name for it. So this is good. And let's click on create. So now this has been created, and we will have to update the S3 bucket policy so that CloudFront can access our S3 buckets. Because if you go right now in here and look at our bucket itself under permissions and scroll down, the bucket policy is currently empty, and so CloudFront will not be able to access it. So right now we'll leave it as is. I'm going to scroll down and skip many different settings, but one you have to set is the default root object, which is that the default object is going to be for me index.html. Okay, so everything looks good. Let's create our distribution. And our distribution can take some time to be created. As you can see here, the S3 bucket policy needs to be updated. So I can click on copy policy here, and there is a shortcut from here to go straight to your bucket policy settings page. So here we go, we have it. Now let's click on edit, and we're going to paste the policy we just printed. And by the way, if you somehow lose access to this policy, you can go under origins. Then in here in origins, you click on edit. You scroll down, and here you will find the policy statement to copy and paste here. So if we look at this bucket policy now, we allow the CloudFront service to do get object on any file in our bucket as long as the CloudFront distribution, so this is a condition, is the one we created. So this basically allows our distribution to access our S3 bucket. This is good. This was generated by AWS. We don't need to do anything besides this. So the permissions are now correct. So back in CloudFront, let's cancel this. And we go to our distribution, and we have to wait until it becomes deployed. My CloudFront distribution is now ready. So I'm going to copy the domain name, open a new tab. And as you can see now, I get I love coffee, hello world, and my image. So you can go to /coffee.jpg, and of course this will work. And you can go to /beach.jpg, and this will work as well. But the cool thing about it is that now if I refresh this page, this is served actually from the CloudFront cache and not from the S3 bucket itself, because, well, I requested the file once. So now they are automatically sent by CloudFront. As you can see, the loading is much quicker. And again, if I go to index.html, this is served from the cache. So this is the beauty of CloudFront. Now we've done one request against Amazon S3 through CloudFront, and then the rest is cached on the distribution itself. So if I go back now to CloudFront, on the left-hand side, just to show you, you have the origin access, and this is where you will find your origin access controls. And we can see that this one was created and is active right now and is assigned to this distribution. So, okay, that's it. We've seen how CloudFront works. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture.